healthy, I am wealthy, I am rich, I'm that bitch. Or wait, what young baby Tate say? Pass me that glass of wine, please. Hi everyone, welcome back to Where Did I Put My Glasses? I am your host Carmen, and I am here today with my soul sister Kamilah, and I am so honored to have you here with me today, my love. Please tell everyone about yourself.
Peace and love, peace and love. Thank you so much for having me, Carmen. My name is Kamilah. I am also a speech language pathologist, um, contract speech language pathologist, as well as providing some private practice services. And I am also the ministress of wellness for the Black Liberation Movement.
Yes, tell them.
Well, it just, gives a little context.
No, because not only is she inspiring to so many, but she is like one of the funniest people I know. She gives the best advice, the warmest hugs, the greatest insight. I can go on and on and on, but she just feeds my soul, y'all.
It is
Okay.
reciprocated. It is definitely reciprocal. Trust me, Carmen is the best. Yes.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Since day
Now
one.
we got to talk about how we met. I always start off with how we met because I know people are like, "How the hell you know all these goddamn people?"
Literally. Wow. Well, do you want me to start?
Yeah. Oh, I guess you can start.
So, as a speech language pathologist, sometimes, for those who don't know, we take different contracts depending on the states that you're licensed in. You can be relocated to those areas. So, I was in the middle of what a crazy summer. Last summer, in the middle of a relocation, and Carmen and I shared the same recruiter who was the best ever. She was so awesome. And yes, she was. And basically that is how we met. And I knew right away before Carmen, let me just tell you all a little background about her spirit and her character, and why she can recognize it in others. We had never met before. I was in a crazy situation with my car. Carmen didn't know if I was like a robber or
Oh no.
she did. Seriously, I'm telling it all, sis. We
Oh
open.
gosh.
And
Okay.
so I said, hey, I'm just trying to get this done. I had some things tied up and I had this car and my car messed up on me and I had driven all the way to California. It was like a trip for my son and I. And I told Carmen I needed something. And let me tell y'all right away, she was like, okay, hold on. Let me check. Boom. Her spirit to me, not knowing me, but her spirit is so strong and so open that without even meeting me in person, her discernment kicked in and she knew before we even met where we were going. And that's the truth. So I call it just divine placement and universal alignment. Yes.
Absolutely. Because I was, you know what? I wasn't even going to, not that we forget about it, but I
Mm-hmm.
guess like sometimes I know how we met, of course, but I guess that sometimes you don't remember. Not that you don't remember. I guess I wasn't even thinking about that. I meant,
Yeah.
but you're right. It is. It is.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that you came though, because
Yes.
we not only did we get to know each other in a short period of time, because guys, she left. Like how I put my car in F and flew the fuck out of Texas. That's how she flew the F out of Paso. Like she was like, no, I'm out of there. So
It
we
was
got this.
different.
It was really different, and we had such a
Yes,
short period of time together, but we make sure we stay in contact and we communicate
absolutely.
continuously, and we make sure we experiences, advice, so forth and so on together.
Yes.
But I won't lie, Kamilah is hilarious. So one of my funniest stories. of being out with you is all right. So, guys, I don't know if you know, and I never really looked it up. I think did we look it up that night? She found out that muscles, the little dangly part of the muscles, is their penis, or right? Is it the little when you pull the meat
Yes.
off of the muscle, the little pocket, the
The
little thing that's stuck there is supposed to be like the penis. And I never looked that up. So people, y'all can Google it. Y'all can find out for yourselves. I do not know if did we Google it that night?
We did not. We were too we had a few too many drinks, but no, we
We
didn't
did.
we didn't look it up that particular night. But that is what my aunt told me. And I want to say I did look it up, but it could have been something she sent to me, but I believe it. It looks like it.
It does.
I believe it. So
But the funny part is her. So the waiter comes over, we're at a seafood restaurant, and well, somewhat of a seafood restaurant, whatever it wanted to be. The waiter comes over and she's like, I would like some muscle dick. And we was like, well, what? But we were so drunk and we were just laughing. And at first I was sitting there, I was like, so confused what was going on. But I thought that was the funniest thing. And Lord, we were in tears.
He did too, but he was so, if he could have changed colors, he would have. He was definitely interested to know more, but he didn't know how to respond. But yeah, that just came out that way. Sometimes that happens with me. It just comes out the way that it is. Yes.
So before we get into it, you got to tell me, because I wasn't there during your college days, so I know how funny you are when we're together. But what was one of your funniest moments in your college years, like that I didn't get to see, that Kamilah that was like wild, crazy, and free? I want to know a little more about that Kamilah.
Oh, okay. Let's see. There's a lot. I would say there's a lot. My son is close by, so I'm trying to choose my words. But I will say he knows his mama, though. I'm very honest and open with my children because I want the same reciprocation from them. Now, let me say this. Okay, so when I was in college, I pledged Zeta Phi Beta sorority. And, when you pledge, there is a coming out. You do your probate show where you guys come out and, at some point, one at a time, you introduce yourself, and you had to have some kind of little personalized introduction, basically, when you came out. So my number was 5 in line. So 1 through 4 went and did their thing. I'm 5. So wait, let me just give a backdrop before that. Now I'm 5, but I had 2 children at the time. No, I just had 1 child at the time. And she was young, but I was in school. I was pledging. So, time management is a big thing. I had to keep my grades up. So, and I went to college later. I didn't go to college, right out of high school. I had some other responsibilities with my mom that I had to, help take care of her. There's just a lot of things going on, right? So my probate show, here I come, didn't practice anything because I was like, they were like, whatever it is, just come out. And I'm thinking, okay, where's Zeta? We say we're Z Kitty, and we're going to do the school. Like, we're going to do all this, honey. I got out there. My ex-husband at the time, my oldest daughter's father, he was so embarrassed. I didn't know what to do. Wait, just listen. Okay, so we had on heels and we had our little tight little pencil pants and our black button downs, right? Honey, I go out there and I did my little call, and I did the basic steps that we were gonna do. I don't know how it happened, but somehow I threw my leg up, honey, and I patted the kitty in front of the crowd. They won't. And every time I see everybody, they're like, pat the kitty. I'm like, stop it. It's been 20 years. Yes, I cannot live that down. Yeah, that took the cake. Yeah.
Well, I would have never let you live that down either. Honestly, I'm happy. I would have taken a picture every time. Every chance I get, I would have reminded you. Remember this?
Oh, they recorded it. It's on recording. I don't even go to the reunions because they play it. I don't want to see that.
Oh no.
Yes, it was recorded. Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
I attempted to, what is it called when you pledge after graduation?
It's
I
just grad
forget.
chapter. Yeah, you're just
Grad
putting
chapter.
grad chapter. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I pledged Zeta, and
Mm.
they accepted me, but I guess there was the classes that you had to do afterwards, and at that time I was living in Florida and I had 7,000 jobs, and I wasn't able to make that commitment, and it's all right. I mean, it would have been a nice experience, but I didn't make the commitment, and that's all my fault because I could have taken a week off of work, honestly. But I'm money driven. You know how I am.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
And to
But you
miss a
know what?
coin,
See, you're my honorary soror. See, I knew that. I never knew that, Carmen.
yeah,
Like
I
I
did.
never knew that.
I
And it's
no, I didn't tell you that. That's right.
no, it's never too
Mm-hmm.
late. Never too late.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I know, but right now I barely
I
got time to
know.
breathe. Let alone.
I know. Me, you and me both. I know.
Mhm.
Trust me.
So
Yes.
today we are here to talk about grounding yourself, guys. I
Yes.
feel it is important to center yourself in your thoughts, not only to be one with your mind, but body and spirit, and to tap into your feminine divinity. And if you're a man, your ultimate masculinity. And that doesn't mean to be demeaning and degrading to women, but
Mm-hmm.
being one within yourself, right? Um,
Yes.
I practice mindfulness through meditation, journaling, and my basketpades. And if for you who don't know what basketpades
Woo!
are, they're the, I swear to you, my Nick makes fun of me about these ain't no basketpades. I got a whole like little tray that holds the wine glasses and holds up the book and has a place for your snacks. Like I have candles. It's a whole situation. When I have a bath, it's like a situation. So I call it a basketpade
Absolutely.
because
Yes.
I'm in there for a while. It's gonna be a situation.
That's
So
right.
what do you do for mindfulness?
Definitely meditation. I I am a big believer in affirmations.
Mm-hmm.
It's just important to me to confirm and validate myself daily before I go out into the world. And, I think when people don't do that, they tend to look for others out in the world to validate them, to, um, you know, um, give them affirmation when they should be getting that from self. So,
Mm-hmm.
meditation, some mornings, depending on my energy when I wake up, and especially when I come home, I sage myself, I state intentions for myself. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I take those long baths too. I love the name bathcapades.
Basketpades.
I love that. But I have those moments, like definitely. But I read, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I literally just sit in silence and I'm still and I just listen to my breaths. I feel myself. And I say to myself in my mind, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I am here. And I repeat that as much as I need to until sometimes I literally feel like I'm everywhere. Like my body has
Mm-hmm.
almost dissipated into my space. And by the time I open my eyes, I feel one. I feel like, yes,
Mm-hmm.
I am here. I'm whole. I've called me back to me. And that's to me, that's important to do. Whether you're a mother, whether you're a child, it's just important to remind yourself that you're here and that you matter.
Exactly. Exactly. Like I I just started back, well, it's been about a week now because I had a rough few weeks
Yes.
prior to the recording of this episode. And so I stopped meditating and journaling. And guys, it's so important. And like I used to set my
Yes.
intentions. I have my crystals all over my home. I set my
Hmm.
affirmations and I try to make great intentions for myself so that way I know where I'm moving. And my spirit always just, it puts me in a happy and a better place. And
Absolutely.
I feel like because I do that, I know who I am and I
Hmm.
don't need like anyone to validate it.
Absolutely.
But for those few weeks when I feel like I wasn't doing not the work, but yeah, because you're constantly working on yourself, right? Doing the work
Absolutely.
to keep myself centered and grounded, I
Hmm.
felt scattered.
Yeah.
I I don't know how, like, I did not know how to just like get myself together. Even moving was just so much for me because
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't in my routine. And like literally
Absolutely.
today I had to wake up and I set an affirmation for myself. And my affirmation is I get to make choices that are in alignment with my truth. And
I
that's my
say.
intention for today. And I had to, right? I had to just set an intention because I was like, no, 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 no. I have to get back to myself. And for this past week, or this past 7 days, I can say I've been back to myself.
That is beautiful. I love that. I love it. And you know, I practice yoga as well. Sometimes I do hot
Mm-hmm.
yoga.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I do something that I'm just learning. It's comedic yoga, and there are African drums playing. They also, when you
Oh.
enter, they stage your body as well. They state intentions for you. You agree with them, or you state your own intentions. And then you go into some really deep breathing exercises, focusing on your right to your left nostril, learning what
Mm.
each side of the body does for yourself. So all those things, again, they help you stay grounded. They help you kind of shut down the clutter. When I was in grad school, one of my professors, Dr. and Wafer, they were a husband and wife couple. I love them. Um, she used to always just remind us, the importance of stopping.
Mm-hmm.
And when she said that, she was like, think about it. Your body never stops. Even when you sleep, your body is going. You're moving in your sleep. You're going.
Mm-hmm.
You have to mindfully stop your body. The same way after so long, you're using your cell phones and things like that. And, you'll know I didn't turn my phone off and reset it. Our bodies are the same way. Like we are machines. We are.
Exactly.
And, if we don't take the time to give that downtime, our heartbeats are constantly racing. We're moving, we're moving, we're moving. When you don't stop and just ground yourself and breathe, you are closer to heart attack, stroke, stress. All kinds of things can happen because, again, you didn't give your body that little, and it doesn't take all day.
And
This is
that's
something that I think a lot of people, or people that I talk to, they say, "Well, I don't have time to meditate. I don't have time to do all that breathing. I got to work." But do you have time to die? You,
exactly.
you got you got time for that, right? Okay,
No.
so what do you want to do? You just slow down for a minute. It's okay. 5 minutes doesn't take all day.
So I used to make excuses like that for exercising. Like
Oh
so,
yeah.
a friend of mine that I grew up with, he's heavy on working out and staying fit,
Mm-hmm.
and I used to make so many excuses, and he'd be like, the way you be on the internet and watching a movie, you binge watch a whole show and the whole night.
Yes.
You mean to tell me you can't take 30 to 40 minutes, not even an hour, to go hit the gym or take a walk? And that resonated in me.
Mm-hmm.
One day I woke up, I said, oh no, like I may not be like the fittest person on earth, but I try to make sure I incorporate a routine because
That's right.
there's no way that, in all these 24 hours, I'm not taking any time for my body
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to keep my body
Mm-hmm.
healthy. So
Mm-hmm.
like you said, that's an excuse, right? You can take 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 30 seconds, do
Absolutely.
some breathing. Like I want
Absolutely.
you said earlier, hot yoga. I tried hot yoga before
Mm-hmm.
and damn near almost died. I don't know what is in those rocks. They set the heat on hell. Like
I
I felt like I
know.
was in Lucifer's lair. Like what is this? I almost died. How
Yeah,
how
but the thing about it is with hot yoga, you have to make sure you're very hydrated before you go in. And what people don't realize, they tell you can have water in there, but you actually get hotter if you drink water while you're inside instead of doing it before. And the thing with hot yoga is if you don't understand mindfulness, you will then. If you don't understand how to be still, you will get it after a couple of sessions of hot yoga. Trust me. I took both my daughters. Skylar was like, "Mama, never again. This is just I
I'm with
cannot."
her. I'm with
But again, she has a hard time being still. So that's something I work on with her. just
See,
still taking that time. But teenage girls, we know how that is. But I'm like, baby, if I'd have known the things that I know now at 17 or had access to, I don't even know. I don't have the word,
okay.
So yeah, it will teach you how to be mindful. Hot yoga will definitely do that. But I love
It
it.
so it taught me to mindfully not take that class again.
But you
It's,
said something, and I wanted to tell you this. That friend who was telling you, hey, if you can do this, you can do this, you can work out, he loves you. Because there are people in your life, when we sit down sometimes and take inventory, these are my friends. They see you unhealthy. They're not offering suggestions. They're not motivating you. How can you love someone and watch them literally kill themselves? That's
that is
big to
true.
me. That's what um my focus is on for wellness, is making sure the people in your life value your life as much as you do. And what I mean by that is that there are people who value themselves in that way. And so it's going to be a requirement of you, or surround yourself with people who are on this path, on a like path, so that you're not pulling against people. You don't have tension in your relationships in life,
Mm.
because that deflects from mindfulness. But when you tend to um, be in that place, you tend to attract people who are also there, and your relationships become more fluid. Your money becomes more fluid. And money is energy. So when you're
Yes.
grounded and you're based, money will come to you. You won't be out
Yes.
there chasing it, So it's just important. Your surroundings, when it comes to grounding, that matters too. The people you have in your life matters greatly.
You're right. You're right. And I know he does love me. He could be crazy sometimes, but I know the love is there.
Yeah.
Um, and like you said, like you're absolutely right. The way that we impact one another is important in our
Yes.
everyday life, and we should take inventory of who we are surrounding ourselves with in our surroundings. And I notice more and more of our sisters and brothers in our community have been meditating, exercising, eating healthy, and so much more.
Yes.
I'm here for it.
Yes.
I'm
Me
here
too.
for
Yes.
how often do you meditate and exercise? Like I do, I meditate daily. Well, except for those few weeks, what I was gonna do.
Yes. I know.
Exercise 3 to 5 times a week. How about you? Like how often do you?
I would say meditation is daily.
Mm,
Meditation is just it's like literally like breathing for me. I guess that when I get up in the morning, I would say meditation 7 days a week, definitely. I get up in the morning, I have a footstool at the end of my bed. I literally, excuse me, I slide down to that footstool. Well, the first thing I do is I drink water. I keep water beside my bed before I move my body. I drink water. I rehydrate because I know I've been sleeping all night, and your body needs to be replenished. The fluid needs to be
same.
replenished. I simply slide down to the end of my bed. My children, they bought me sound bowls for my 43rd birthday. That was because they knew, well, mama doesn't want this. She doesn't want a necklace. She doesn't want, so they got me a set of sound
Mhm.
bowls. And so I get up in the morning. I slide to the foot of the bed. My sound bowls are on like a bench table near my dresser.
Okay.
Sometimes I use those, and I do the motions. I play and I do the motions and I listen. I light my sage and I sit, cross my knees at the end of the bed, and I just sit and I breathe and I state
Mhm.
my intentions for the day. And that, I can't even give you a time. It just is until it's done. Um,
Mhm.
So that is what I do for meditation. And then working out here lately, thanks to you and your input and just advice and everything that I needed during the time, I work out literally 6 to 7 days a week.
Okay.
And sometimes it's not always so intense. Sometimes it's just a stretching. It's just light calisthenics and stretchings. But most of the time, cardio and light weights.
Mhm.
But I definitely made it a part of my lifestyle, because there was a point when I was going through depression and other things were happening when I didn't. And
Mhm.
so from that time we were together last year, last summer, like I've lost nearly 100 pounds,
Yeah.
by
And
just
she
focusing.
looks amazing, guys.
Oh,
Sorry.
thank
You
you.
look good, girl.
Thank you, sis. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes. So yeah, daily. I try my best, but at least 6 to 7 days. I may take one day off depending on if I need, some relaxation. I go get a massage. I think that's important too. At least once or twice a month, I go get a professional massage. Yes.
I do too. I try to get my massages in about once or twice a month. That's
Mm-hmm.
important, guys, especially when you're working out at least so many times a week. You need, it's about so much stretching and baths you can do. You need that deep
Mm-hmm.
tissue massage. Like, you need that. Like, so in my meditation today, this morning, so like you, I wake up and I keep my water by the bed and I replenish
Mm-hmm.
myself. And then I sage or I use my Palo Santo, and
Mm-hmm.
I set my intentions and my affirmations, and then I
Mm-hmm.
meditate. And in my meditation this morning, my centering thought was, my deepest desire is for completeness.
Yes. Ashe. Yes.
Do you use centering thoughts like these during your meditation?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And
Mm,
for me, and they usually evolve around my children.
mm,
Um,
mm.
and my relationship with them, their wholeness, and me making sure that that I love that you say completeness, because I always say I want to be whole for my children so that they're whole for themselves. I am the example. I am the example. And I remind myself of that. But my primary centering thought, literally primary before anything else, is two words: I am.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else that I do after that or say, I know it defines who I actually am, what I am. So that's how I always begin. I am. Because that puts the action on me. That puts the
Mm-hmm.
responsibility on me, the action on me. I'm not looking for anybody outside of myself to fulfill what I must do for me. So, yes, yes, ma'am.
So, I know, like, as now the ministress of wellness for the Black Liberation Movement, right? Sorry, I
That
had to
it
say
was
it
such
like,
an
I don't know, sorry.
honor. I
You
tell
know, so
you.
extra. I had to say it like
I
that.
know.
But
Yes.
recently, you did a panel.
Yes. Oh,
Oh gosh. And you asked the question, guys. And when I say Camilla is so deep, so when you watch her panels and when you listen to it, you get into her, you feel her, right? So I'm into it. I'm loving. I'm taking notes because I like it when I'm feeling this. I need to take notes because I
right.
take it as a learning experience, and that's not just
Absolutely.
with you. With anyone who I feel I'm going, there's a value added. I'm going to take notes because I can come back and refer to this later. You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
I know when you're
Absolutely.
speaking, there's something I can refer to later. So I'm
Oh, thank
taking notes
you.
as I'm watching the panel. And you asked the question, guys. This question was so simple. It was simple. The question was, guys, how
Simple.
are you helping your community to stay healthy?
Yeah.
Simple, right?
Yeah.
Guys, simple. And I started to think, well, what am I doing? This crude and rude and ugly little man. I'm sorry. I know it's supposed to be like peaceful zen, but we're gonna be real. Let me tell you, this man was nasty. And I got them
Yes.
together, guys. But
Yeah.
this crude
Yes, you
individual
did.
chose to, instead of answer the question, to attack women, and especially women of color, instead
Yes.
of answering the question, like as if somebody had to hurt his little ugly feelings. And I'm sorry, and we're not going to say, oh, everyone is not beautiful. Um,
True.
we're not going to do that. And his soul
Mm-mm.
wasn't beautiful, but he was a disgusting character.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
before we get in his ass, because I got in his ass on social media nicely though, it was nice, nasty. Before we get in his ass, can you please tell everyone how you help our community?
Yeah. Well, for me, what I try to do is, you know, the thing about well, there's a twofold part to that.
Mm-hmm.
Social media, we know that it can be used for many reasons, but I try to use social media to promote things that I love and to share
Mm-hmm.
things that I do. I don't necessarily try to push my lifestyle on anyone, but I
Mm-hmm.
try to be an example, being a 43-year-old Black woman, mother, professional, uh, having to, run things. I'm trying to show that no matter what throughout my day, I can still make time for myself. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
making any excuses for it. So a lot of what I do is I lead by example. I share as I learn. Here in this area that I am now, it started at the gym. I met a group of sisters about 2 months ago in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And they saw me. I was actually outside in my car, and I was burning sage, like at the car, because I was kind of behind that morning, and I literally stood in front of the car. It was like 5:30 in the morning. It was a very early workout, and so the sister said, "What are you doing? Are you okay?" Oh, we thought something was on fire, so the conversation came about sage. No, seriously, they didn't know anything about sage, and they were like, "Wow, you know." So I started talking to them more, and um, kind of sharing more. They started meeting me on
Mm-hmm.
most days at the gym early, or whenever I would come, we changed our time to a little later, and they kept coming and kept coming. So we formed a group where one of the sisters, she works at like it's a community center here, and
Mm-hmm.
so I've been going there and sharing with it's like mostly girls and their parents. They teach them etiquette and household things. It's it's mainly about etiquette, right?
Okay.
So she asked me, could you come incorporate some things about wellness into that? So that's just something on a smaller level, I guess, that I've been doing here in my state. And then with social media, again, I try to share health tips that I have. uh,
Mm-hmm.
I share exercise information when asked, and then just being mindful of the choices that I make in purchases that I make for my home, um,
Mm-hmm.
the way that I structure things for my children, teaching them sometimes, and their friends will benefit from that as well. So they go home to their parents. Then I get that call, hey, tell me this thing you told her. So for me, it's just spreading
Yeah.
information about wellness, being an example, because a lot of the times with us, we make a lot, I'm just saying, Black people, we make a lot of excuses, and I have been guilty of it. I'm not, this is truly
Mm-hmm.
conviction on my part. We make a lot of excuses for things that we know we should be doing, but
Mm-hmm.
we for some reason we don't do other things a priority. So I show, hey, I can get on social media, but I can get on social media effectively. I can still go to this gym or go to this park and, do all these other things. So at the root of it, it's really just sharing information and leading by example.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
yeah,
I love
and then
that.
joining panels and discussions like yours, other panels that I'm a member of, where we talk about wellness and excuse me, and we talk about solutions. We don't just necessarily talk about the problems that are happening in
Mm-hmm.
the community. We present those, but everyone on the panel has to come up with solutions as well. Like, we have to be about action. Talk is cute, talk is good, it's great, right? Because that's
Mm-hmm.
necessary before the action comes, but the actions definitely need to follow. So.
I like that. Solutions,
Yes.
because we it's easy to talk, right? It's easy to converse.
Yes.
It's easy
Hmm.
to engage someone, but if there's no real solutions behind the context, like what are we doing, right?
It was
Um,
exactly.
and that's why I didn't understand how this man could come on
Mm,
and say all of the things he was saying,
yes.
given such an easy question. Guys, he went in. Now we can get in his ass.
Yeah, it
Um,
was rough.
now we
And
can
I
get in his
even
ass.
had to have a call with him after. We talked about it, and I told him, I said, I don't know if it's because he's from the islands. And I said,
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes what you say gets lost in translation, or he's not understanding. And I told him, and he actually, after Carmen roasted him, this man read that. He called me. He was like, help me. Listen, he said, what can I do to get better? I kid you not.
Oh,
He called
okay.
me. I said, you can listen to women when they speak. You can let them finish what they have to say before you assume and make an ass out of yourself, because you only partially answer the question. They weren't finished. And another question that I'd asked her in that panel, because we hear it, well, Black women don't work out, Black women do this. And I said, okay, well, as a Black man, what can you do to support a Black woman that who is
Mm-hmm.
on her health journey, who is trying to improve her overall health? He just went into, well, if she's fat, you got to say I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
No,
If
but
she's
that's,
fat,
guys, that's exactly, no, because they needed to hear how this man was talking, because I don't want you guys to think I'm just singling out a man. No, he was
no,
disrespectful.
he was. And I think at the end, he almost didn't realize it because he lives in a city. I won't say the city, but he lives in a city where women are kind of,
He
it's a
lives in
different vibe.
Miami, y'all. He lives in Miami. I'm gonna say it. He lives in Miami. I'm not scared of
So
him.
for his experience, I think he was kind of basing it on, because they probably like left and right, nope,
Nobody
turn
want him,
down.
child.
Right. So I think for let's just be real. You're right. So I think, he was kind of basing that. So I had to talk to him after, because it was hard. I had to check, because I'm bad about saying what is on my mind, wherever, however, whenever. So I had to really be like, okay, this is about the betterment of people. Don't you go off on this man, like hold it together, but I let him have it after. Well, Carmen did it before I could get to it. Yeah.
No, but you're so graceful. Like, she sat there in all her grace, just listening to him. And I'm sitting here, like, I had to turn it off, because I was like, am I bugging? And she was sitting there and she was just so calm. And how do you remain calm and not allow others to disrupt your peace? I'm working on that. That's something I'm working on currently as a person. But how do you remain calm? You were so graceful. You sat there. You just let this
Thank
man.
you.
But so how do you remain calm and do not allow others to disrupt your peace like that? Like, please.
And you know what, sis? It's what we do. It's what we do. We get up and we practice mindfulness. We practice meditation. So kind of before the day even started, I said, I'm not going to let certain things get to me, things that I spoke. But also, I had to realize that even though people's opinions may differ, I realize I'm going to let them be heard, so that when I respond, I'm responding appropriately and correctly. And what he did is basically made himself look quite the opposite, because sometimes it's not always about talking. You got to listen. And if you listen a little bit, you'll hear what people really mean behind the words that they're saying. You'll see the pain behind the words that they're saying, and I realized this man, he's unhappy. So I had to really just sit there, and I zoned out. I'll be honest with you. I was shaking my head, but I had to just like, okay, don't do it. Don't do it. Because, Cammy almost came out. Cammy is my alter ego. I had to scare sit down.
See, no. So Cammy was out that night when we was having seafood and putting a few nights ago. We've had some cocktails. I think we was playing spades. Cammy came out during spades.
Yes.
Cammy came out during we went out to Giuseppe's and had a few drinks. That was a nice night. Cammy
that was
came out
so
during
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed you. Oh,
yeah, I missed you too. I can't wait to see you again, so we can just enjoy each other. But Cammy comes out, and when Cammy comes out, child, just know you about to laugh so hard.
Oh, man. I love her. I need her. She balances us.
But I needed Cammy in that moment. I needed Cammy like in that moment, because
I wanted to, but I said, if I do that, I'm giving him my power. And I said, the best way for me, and when I stay calm, I say, if I react, I'm basically saying you have control over me, and you don't have control over me. So I'm going to let you make an ass of yourself, and then I'll come back. Go ahead.
Ooh, he was a whole donkey.
Yeah. He actually, honestly, it's like we literally had an hour conversation, because, baby, he read your comment. It bothered him. He was bothered, but the good thing, he was bothered to a point that he wanted to change. Exactly. He said, because I don't want Black women to think I hate them. I said, but you got to learn how to talk to them. That's why you don't have one. You got to learn how to talk. It's not just Black women, but women in general. But you're a Black man. So it should be top priority for you to know how to speak to the Black woman. You came from one, So we had a really good talk, and I did a podcast with him after that, and toward the end,
wait, I didn't hear that when you didn't tell me about that podcast on purpose.
Yeah, I think it's on my page, sis. If it's not, it was a part 2 of that, because I'm gonna send it to you. He wanted to redeem himself. You got him. You read him for filth, baby. You got
No,
him.
but guys, I
Yes.
won't lie to you. It wasn't disrespectful. So I was like, so I do know how to
No.
talk my shit, and I know how to get
Mm-hmm.
people together nastily. I know how to be
Yes, you do,
nasty.
email queen. Yes,
Yeah.
you do. Baby, you need some trophies for some of those emails you sent. My mouth is still open. You the best. Yes, ma'am.
No, I do know how to get people all the way together, and
Mm-hmm.
but I wanted him to learn from what I was saying. So I
Yeah.
made sure I chose my words. I had to literally write it, come back, and edit it, because I wanted
Right.
him to see this and feel it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he did.
And I'm
Deeply.
happy. I'm
Yes,
happy.
he
No,
truly did.
so other than that, so before now, I want to know, like right now, right? You're as a whole, you're exercising, you're meditating, you're becoming one with yourself. You have your sound bowls. I watch your lives with the Can you rename that type of yoga experience that you do during your lives with the sage and isolated breathing techniques? What is it?
Yes.
What is it called again?
It's comedic yoga, and the
Kinetic
sister,
yoga.
her name is actually Kamilah as well.
Oh,
I
okay.
think that it's something that she is learning. They've been doing like journeys to Egypt and other places,
Mm,
but she's amazing. She's a young sister. Her name is Kamilah Aisha. I think on Facebook she's Aisha Sheed, Sheid, but she's on my page, and she's actually on that video because she commented on the video, and I reference her as being a great instructor. So um, she's a young queen doing her thing, and she's really out there in the community. She teaches yoga for free. You can
mm,
donate, but she really gives her time. But it's amazing because this practice kind of taps into our roots in so
mm-hmm,
many ways. And the breathing exercises, let me tell you, the first time that I did them, when I walked in, I set up my mat and I brought a few crystals with me for my protection, for my balancing, and I placed them around my yoga mat. And that's something that is encouraged when you go. Another sister walked over and she was saging me, and I don't know, I was feeling something, right? So
mm-hmm.
as we sat down, I promise you guys, I didn't do any shrooms. I didn't smoke any weed. I didn't do any of that, right? Not this time.
I have a skin secret. Do you want to hear it? Are you having difficulty keeping your skin moisturized? Is water, exfoliating, and face creams not working to achieve that dewy look you desire? Maybe facial oils are the key to healthy glowing skin. With Indira Skincare, you can get that no filter look naturally with the Rose Formula and the Maracuja Formula. The Rose Formula will moisturize and protect your skin with a blend of rosehip oil, jojoba oil, vitamin E, and essential oils to leave your skin with a dewy look and feel. Choose the Maracuja Formula for brighter, glowing skin with a blend of maracuja oil, grapeseed oil, and vitamin C to moisturize and enhance your skin's glow. To purchase your skin secret formula, go to indiraskincare.com as well as Facebook and Instagram at Indira Skincare. Trust, you would thank me later.
So, but basically, her name is, again, it's Kamilah Aisha Sheed, but on Facebook she's Aisha Sheed. And so, like I said, I didn't do any drugs on this first session, but I went in, I was saged, right? And I get to the mat, I sit down, and she says, place your right thumb over your right thumb over your right nostril, right? And you do
Okay.
these deep breathing exercises in through your nose, none through your mouth, right? In and out your nose and mouth. And then eventually you switch sides and you close off your right nostril and you start breathing the left side. So we did the breathing exercises for, I know, every bit of 10 minutes. Y'all, let me tell you, I saw every color of the rainbow in my mind. Like my eyes were closed and I was breathing. I felt like I was levitating off the mat. When we
It
got
felt like
into
you was on a trip.
Listen, I'm telling you, and after that, because they talk about that, right? I was like, I need to take a trip. I want to try some mushrooms. I've never done it, but I was like, if it's anything like this, baby, I'm ready to meet myself, you know?
Okay.
But y'all, sis, when I tell you, it was so powerful, just the breathing. And so when we finished, she said, sis, you were in that yoga flow. Y'all, my body wasn't my body. I don't know what it is with that breathing and those drums, those African drums, and they're walking around, the sage is still going, and you're hearing these beautiful affirmations. It's like, and everybody's so in tune, so much powerful energy in one space. She said, you were flowing. Your yoga flow was like, she said it was spotless. And I literally didn't even feel my body. That breathing was so powerful. It was so powerful.
It takes you to like another level, kind of like a Kundalini awakening, sort of, right? Yeah.
Oh, it was so powerful. It was beautiful, and everyone there said pretty much the same thing. One lady, it was almost like you know, we went back to church. Sister girl was she was in tears, and just it was so powerful. It was so powerful, and it just speaks to that mind body connection and being mindful, being in the moment, checking in with your body. And like you said, when you didn't do it, you felt scattered. And that breathing, what it does, it brings you back to that oneness.
Exactly.
Because you can't use your mouth, you're using your nose, and you literally, you feel every breath. You feel it deeply. And that's another big thing that really helps a lot too, is breathing correctly, breathing from our diaphragm. After, you know, we're not babies anymore so often, because sometimes we're holding the stomach in, we're doing all kinds of crazy things as we go, we don't want to poke out.
Clavicle breathing.
Right. We do. Exactly. So getting back to breathing the right way, oh man, it does amazing things for your body and for your mind, for your spirit. It truly does.
Now, if you had any piece of advice for our listeners out there about how to stay grounded, stay centered, and like guys, like I said, I'm a work in progress. Like I'm still learning how to navigate through the world. Right, I can say right now I am at one with myself. I understand my feelings. I know what I don't like and what I do like. I have no problem saying no and meaning it. I can say I'm truly happy within my soul, despite if I'm going through something. I can truly, honestly, from my core, say I'm happy.
Absolutely.
And I know it's hard. Now, people mistake, like, you know, people who are all like, my friend sent me a meme one day with I like to meditate and hug trees, but don't get it twisted, or some crazy meme like that. Like that's me, right? Like I
Yeah.
meditate, you know, when I kill a bug, I say sorry. Like, you know, like I know how to
Me
be kind and
too.
help others and do all that stuff, but I also will curse somebody out. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And I'm still working on the other part, the other Carmen. The Carmen from Yonkers that come out that be like, yo,
I love her.
the Carmen.
Yes.
I'm still so your journey, you've been working on this journey just as long.
Yes.
If you have any advice for like women like me who are trying to work on, like, you know, like namaste bitches, because I'm trying to be nice, okay, like if you have any advice, what would that advice be to learn how to be more I guess graceful and respectful with your words or your actions instead of just
Yes.
flipping?
Yeah. Yeah. Let me say this is I am still a work in progress. I truly am. Yes, ma'am, I am. I just have no, seriously, you know it. You know I am. But I will say this to be whenever you get to a point where you're feeling like you're making irrational decisions, you're stressed, or sometimes we get to a point where we do so much, we're easily distracted, and we feel powerless. Like we feel like we're lost in the world, you know. Um, Always, again, stating those intentions in the morning, being aware of your body, being aware of your breath, just that sense of awareness is so important. Um, and keeping the right people in your life, take the time to literally, I mean, literally, and I mean this,
Mm-hmm.
appreciate your five senses. Take the time when
Mm.
you're still, look around and look at things and say, I'm thankful that I can see this. I'm thankful, that I can touch, my children. I'm thankful I can touch this bed or whatever. I'm thankful I can smell, my mama's banana pudding or my friends this and that. I'm thankful that I can taste this great glass of wine that I'm drinking right now. Like I'm so
I
thankful
am
that I
thankful
can
for this wine right now.
that I right that I can take that and like literally and I mean this, if it's a few minutes, just be thankful. Be thankful for what you have. And if that isn't enough, sometimes you need a new hobby. Like you said, journaling, walking, reading. Reading is powerful. And some people will say, no, because when I read, I'm thinking about everything else. But if you're reading something that's really interesting to you, and good readers, when we read, we don't just see words, we see pictures, we see the whole movie playing, and sometimes placing yourself in that situation. If you're reading self-help books, literally place yourself in the position of that character. That's another thing. And journaling, writing
Yes.
it down, writing it down. Particular colors even help if you're manifesting for certain things, depending on what that is. But always being able to express yourself, always knowing that you have a voice. And even if others don't want to hear it, write it down, say it
Exactly.
to yourself, speak it out loud. you know uh so that's really important. And I think I said meditation
Yeah.
is everything. And then above all of that, my sisters, especially my working sisters, my professional sisters, like yourself, small business owners, get
Mm-hmm.
your rest. The power of a rested mind is beyond all of us. I'm telling you. When you truly rest, you heal properly. Your body feels better, your spirit is better, your ability to connect with others is better. And having a good sleeping habit is like, I think that I would say that is the number one grounding exercise, is being
Absolutely.
able to sleep properly, because your body needs that. And that true REM sleep, not the restless sleep where you're turning. But sometimes, again, if you have sound bowls, or you have great meditation music, if you're listening to the rain at night, whatever it may be,
Mm-hmm.
find something that allows your body to be still and to truly rest. You will feel better about yourself. I'm telling you, your relationships will be better because you don't feel cheated. And when we don't take times to do those things, to be mindful for ourselves, I think we get a lot of attitudes in life with people because we feel cheated. We don't know
Yeah.
why we're feeling like that. And it's because I didn't do it for me. I'm not rested.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel good. So I'm angry at
Mm-hmm.
you. I don't like your shirt. You're ugly. We find things
Mm-hmm.
to, as in Memphis, they say checking people. We'll check everybody all day because I'm mad. Because I ain't took the time to love on me right. Love yourself so you
Mm-hmm.
can love others. And I'm telling you, always be careful of anyone who says they love you and you've never seen them love themselves.
You,
Never.
I and my and not even that, but like being mindful of who you have around you,
Yes.
because I had met not a friend, a person in the fall, and I think I told you about him, and he was going
Mm-hmm.
through so much. And he he was always talking about how he wants to ground himself and center himself. He was asking me about my practices, and I was telling him some of what you were telling everyone
Mm-hmm.
just earlier. And he was like, I told him that it was a full moon, I was going to meditate and do my ritual and stuff like that. And he was like, can I come over?
Yes.
Camilla, can I tell you, I lit that sage. The house almost got on fire. I the the smoke alarms went off. I said, oh no. I knew
Oh
from
my
that
goodness.
moment on, he cannot be in my circle,
Mm-hmm. You
because
knew.
the sage was like, he is
Get
the
thee
evil.
from me. Yes. Get away. I'm telling you. And you know what? Because your energy is so short. Do you remember you read my tarot?
Mm-hmm. I
Baby, you're
did.
powerful. I'm telling you.
Yes, ma'am.
Everything that we talked about that day.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
try to be mindful, and I try to make sure when I am reading, I'm coming from a whole place. I always let
You
people
did.
know.
Yes,
I,
you did.
I'm like thanking you for all of this, and this has been one of my favorite recordings because as you can hear, like I'm calm. I'm still a loud person, but like you just calm me.
It's
I want
reciprocated,
this.
sis. I'm telling you. And I don't mean to cut you off, y'all, but
No.
Carmen's voice will put a beast to sleep. Do you hear me? Sis voice is like, I used to be like, what she say? What she say? What you could hear? But baby, yeah, it's reciprocal. And again, energy recognizes
Hmm.
energy. That's why that
Hmm.
sage was like, get this man from you. I'm telling you, that's real.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
real.
Oh, and before we go, you said something about colors. I never heard of that. What are some of the colors that you can use for manifestation? I never know. I've never learned about that or read about that. Do you have any suggestions?
Yeah, well, for me, the main one that I would use, that I use, it really just depends on what it is that you want. But
Mm-hmm.
when something is, excuse me, when I really want this to happen, um, and I forget exactly where I learned it from, but I write in red. Like in my journal,
Mm-hmm.
everything is written in red. Um, and I want to say someone told me, um, was it Shabaka? I can't remember the name, but it was a while ago. But the sister was telling me, like when you write things in red, you're writing from your heart. You're writing based on the deepest place in yourself. And this is what if you write it in red, it's like it makes your intentions. Um,
It gives like a
I
sense of
should have got that
urgency.
language, but yeah, but it's like you're writing from the heart. And then she also told me, the chakra, the colors
Okay.
of the
Okay.
chakra. Like if you're like for my sound bowls, they're labeled. If I have one that's focused on my heart chakra and it has a color there, et cetera, et cetera, goes on
Mm-hmm.
down.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm feeling something from that space, or if I'm manifesting something from that space for love, for mindfulness, for awareness, I tend to write in that color.
Okay.
So that's it when I'm writing in my journal. That was something I wish I could remember. It was so long ago, and I think I've practiced it so much now that I just don't
Mm-hmm.
even do it without thinking. But
That can
red
teach.
has always been that color. It's like I know it was like you're speaking from your heart, like your blood cell. I'm speaking from my heart. I want this to happen. I'm bleeding this out to the universe.
Mm-hmm.
But my journal, yeah, my journal is mostly in red. But again, if there's something that I specifically need, say if you need healing in a specific area, and as we speak things, they tend to we manifest the things that we speak, right?
Yes.
Or we speak them because we feel there's an additional power that comes with speaking things, not just
Yeah.
writing them or saying them. So that's definitely something that I do. Like because sometimes where my emotions are, um and my the professionally, like if I'm writing about something that has to do with speech therapy,
Mm-hmm.
about my goals for speech therapy, or uh, if I had, like in grad school, I would have like a presentation I knew then, and I'd write in blue because I know
Okay.
I'm focusing on my throat chakra, etc. So
Mm-hmm.
I was always confused with it when the sister was talking about writing in red, because I'm like, the heart chakra isn't red. It's what is it? It's green. I believe it's
Yeah.
green. So I'm like, that doesn't make sense. But I get it. She says you're pleading to the universe. You're literally pouring your blood out. I want this. I'm manifesting this. So um, I'm probably not explaining it exactly the way that she explained it, but
No,
that's
it's okay.
basically what I meant by the colors. Writing based on um, what your intention is, what you're trying to call to yourself, whatever the energy is. Choose that color ink or whatever, however you write in chalk. I don't know, whatever.
No.
You choose that color and write whatever it is that you need to happen, that
Mm-hmm.
you desire, that you need to stop. I had one sister, just to share this experience briefly, who she had ovarian cancer,
Mm-hmm.
and she was in it was a group we were in. She was talking. She said, I was speaking to, this person, the shaman, and she was saying, I need to write in orange and red, and everything that she did, she focused on her sacral chakra and her root chakra. And I don't know if it was that completely, but it also, she had a vegan diet. She switched her diet, but cancer left in remission. So it's like the power of us when we're in
Yes.
tune and we're connected with who we are. We're some powerful beings.
Mm-hmm.
We
And
just
that's
truly
for
are.
everybody.
Yeah, and
Black, white,
absolutely,
purple, and different. Short,
absolutely,
tall, small, big. If you
absolutely.
if you work on yourself,
Mm-hmm.
you do what you need to do to make sure you are healthy in mind, body, and soul. And there
Yes,
is no limits to where you can end up or where you can go, what you can manifest into your life. And I am a firm believer,
absolutely.
because if there's people listening from my hometown, they've known me. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they've known me from my hometown, and then there's people who know me from when I moved. And when I say I am not the person from my attitude maybe, but my street smarts maybe, maybe
Yes, because you've
my
shared
right
some
hook.
stories with me. Yeah, and it just makes me so proud of you. Like just so proud to know you. And I
Same.
mean, and I mean, I love you. I love you for
You
real,
too.
not play.
I'm with you too.
So I'm just proud of you. I'm proud of, your ability to bounce back, your ability to love, to continue to grow. But you're right. This is for everyone. It's not just
Mhm.
Black people. It is for everyone.
Everyone.
Because I stress this. There's good and bad in every race, and
Mhm.
in the end, there's a human race. But there's good and bad. There are people who
Mhm.
strive to be good no matter how they were brought up, no matter what they're surrounded by. We
Mhm.
have to receive them and respect those who are, of that mindset.
Mhm.
So yes,
Mhm.
that's basically what the colors are, though, sis. It was from based on what chakra is needing to be attuned, or what you're calling, what energy you need for healing in those areas.
Okay. Well, we learned something new today, y'all. I want to thank you so much for joining me today, and tell the people where to find you, as far as if they want to get informed about your panels, your lives, especially with the Kinetic Yoga. I enjoy watching that. And when you are putting up some of your panels in your podcast, let people know where they can find you.
Okay. Usually, well, my on Facebook, my name is Mila Renee. That's Milah Renee. That is on Facebook. On Twitter, I think it is Milanee's Way. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I
I don't
believe
look at
it.
Twitter. That's it. I don't look at Twitter too often.
It will be
And
on
on
Instagram.
yeah. Okay. And on Instagram, I am under underscore the real Mila. And the podcasts I generally share them on Facebook. I
Mhm.
am starting a YouTube channel that will be up very, very soon.
Okay.
Um, and I will definitely share that information with you for
Okay.
anyone who wants to tune in. And what the basis of that YouTube channel will be, it'll be wellness. It'll be about self love and wellness. There'll be different discussions, different people to come in live. You'll be able to call in at times. Sometimes it will be pre-recorded, but
Okay.
it's a discussion because briefly, if I could just state this is,
Yes.
and I'm a Black woman, so I speak from that perspective. And what greatly affects us right now is we are at 56.6% clinically obese
Yeah.
for the 100% of the population. So that's over half uh, the people of African American women who are clinically obese. So I will target that heavily.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I support women doing whatever they have to do. If it's surgery, I support it. Listen, whatever surgery, weight loss classes, whatever it is we have to do to beat
Mm-hmm.
that. Because as women in general, we're powerful. We can change it. And for us to
Absolutely.
be as intelligent as we are, we know that our health has to matter. It has to matter, and we have to make it matter. So I'll be sharing a lot in that regard, a lot of what we discussed today techniques for mindfulness, for staying grounded and centered. There will be some sisters who are going to be coming in and doing some free yoga sessions that will happen on the channel as well. So things are being worked out, but once everything is finalized, I will definitely share that with you.
Okay, and I will make sure to put at least your social media handles. Ooh, so that's
Absolutely.
the wine kicking in. The social media handles on Instagram when I post up this episode. So guys, you'll be able to find her by clicking on the links in the Instagram. And don't
Absolutely.
forget to share where did I put my glasses with your family and friends. I want you to
Yes,
follow, subscribe. I want you to like and listen
absolutely.
on your preferred podcasting platforms to stay updated on the latest episodes. I want you to go to at Where Did I Put My Glasses on Instagram. You can also leave your thoughts, questions, or comments on today's episode on Instagram. And thank you again, guys.
Thank you so much.